Hey guys, Brother D, Praise the Leader Radio Show. Listen, I love Jackie Perry. She was recently on TBN talking about the grace of God in Titus 2:11 and 12. And this is what she had to say. Take a listen to this.
There are people in your church, in your midst, that you don't see that are teaching you that because God is so gracious, you have the freedom to sin in whatever way that you want. But in Titus, we already know that God's grace actually teaches us to say no to ungodliness. There is no way that you have come in contact with the lavish grace of God and that you can then turn your back on him. To me, that says you don't actually know him.
Wow.
To know him and to know his love and to know his grace and to know his mercy means that I am desperate to actually please him as best I can. And so we see that grace removes penalty and empowers you to do the impossible, which is to live holy.
Listen, we do not have a license to sin, but the grace of God is there because the Lord knows that we are going to sin. I know it sounds hard. I know it sounds crazy, but it's a fact. And grace does teach us not to sin because grace is Jesus personified. To imply that someone never knew the Lord just because they fell into sin, or even if they walked into sin, would be an error because we see that Adam plainly walked into sin and God's grace provided. And we also see that Peter fell before Jesus' resurrection and Jesus provided by restoring him. And then after the resurrection, we see Peter once again in trouble and Paul opposes him to his face and Jesus' grace provided for him as well. So both places we see grace is effective. We know that the Bible tells us this in 1 John 1:8 through 10. If we say that we have no sin, we deceive ourselves and the truth is not in us. If we confess our sins, he is faithful and just to forgive us and to cleanse us from all unrighteousness. If we say that we have not sinned, we make him, meaning God, a liar, and his word is not in us. Therefore, we know that we have sinned and that we will fall into sin. And that's why grace has to be provided, because without God, nothing can cover it. For our good works is as filthy rags. But grace teaches us not to sin. But God knows that somewhere along the line, we're going to mess up. Therefore, he has to put a provision, a buffer there to cleanse us and to forgive us. This is Brother D, Praise the Leader Radio Show. God bless.